Wellsville acquired 35 biodomes 3 years ago. They have decided to purchase 40 more. We begin by removing the existing domes from the lagoon. A service barge was specifically designed to remove and install biodomes while the lagoon is in service. The 35 biodomes that were in the lagoon were an early prototype that used a crumb rubber diffuser hose, so they will be serviced while the 40 new biodomes are installed. The electric winch on the barge can be connected to the biodome to lift it out of the lagoon. The winch is attached to an I-beam trolley so that 2 units can be moved at once and can easily be loaded onto and unloaded from the barge. The green growth on the surface of the lagoon is a plant called duckweed. Duckweed is an aquatic plant that grows readily on the surface of the lagoon. Although it does not look attractive, it grows naturally and is not detrimental to the lagoon. Once the barge arrives at the shore, the biodomes can be removed using a small crane. Once the biodomes are on the bank of the lagoon, they can be moved using a backhoe. Then the barge can set off to remove more biodomes. To service the biodome, a roll cage is installed. Once lowered onto the unit, 3 pins are inserted into the legs of the biodome base. With the pins in place, the unit can be moved or tipped. The biodome is tipped onto its side to be serviced. Since the space on the inside of the biodome is filled with biomedia, the media is pushed away from the biodome base so that it does not get in the way when the new hose is threaded. Then the unit is pressure washed to remove the biofilm from the area where the unit will be serviced. The biomedia has been specifically designed to offer plenty of surface area without the risk of clogging. This is the crumb rubber diffuser hose of the old prototype. Since servicing the biodomes is so simple, we decided to rehose them. The old hose can be quickly removed. It is going to be replaced by a larger, flexible PVC bubbler hose that has proven to be very robust. When the unit is rehosed, it will look like this, with the flexible PVC bubbler hose inside a steel coil. The fitting on the manifold is coated with plumber's putty before the bubbler hose is fitted. Once the flexible PVC is on the fitting, it is tightened down with a stainless steel hose clamp that can be crimped into place. Now the hose can be threaded into the bottom of the biodome. The steel coil is used to prevent the bubbler hose from kinking, pinching, or getting crushed by the biomedia when the biodome is set upright. The hose is then secured using black cable ties. The ties are very strong and resist deterioration. The reason the crumb rubber hose is being replaced and is no longer used in new units is that the flexible PVC bubbler hose produces fine bubbles and is very robust. The flow rate of air through the bubbler hose on one biodome is between 1 and 1.5 cubic feet per minute. When threading the hose past the concrete base, it is important to ensure that the length is correct. Then, when the unit is set upright, the hose will fall into place, and the biomedia will prevent the hose from moving. Once the hose is threaded and secured, it can be cut to length and attached to the manifold. Then the cage is tipped upright and moved to where it is needed. It is moved to the shore of the lagoon near the crane so it can be loaded onto the barge. The cable used to lift the biodome is made of stainless steel and is a permanent part of the unit. The winch is then used to move the dome to the center of the barge. The barge can now be set off to place the unit. Once the barge is in place, the unit is set. Once all 75 units have been placed, sinking airlines are strung from the shore to each biodome. When the line is run, it is cut to length and attached to the biodome airline. A brass barb is used to connect the airlines. Then, a pair of all stainless steel hose clamps are used to ensure that the lines are completely secured. When the clamps are tightened, they are then inspected and placed in the lagoon. Before going to the bank, another airline is run from a biodome to the shore so that no trip of the barge is wasted.
Wow, that should be just right.
Once all the airlines are run, they are attached to the onshore manifolds. The air is provided by a 15 horsepower rotary vane compressor. The compressor is located in a service shed that is plumbed to the onshore manifolds using a 4-inch air line. Then the air is turned on. Intuition may indicate that the units closest to the manifolds will have greater airflow. However, the head losses in the airlines are negligible compared to the hydrostatic head of the lagoon. The bubble pattern is visually inspected to make sure each unit is bubbling. Then, each unit is tested using an airflow meter to ensure that they are within the optimum range of operation. The results are then recorded. This concludes the presentation of the service and installation procedure at Wellsville, Utah, presented by Wastewater Compliance Systems.